Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for today's lunchtime lecture. Today we are going to talk about remote ID for drones, what it is, why it matters and how it affects drone operators in Ireland. Now, my name is Sala Tita. I am a UAS intern here in the Irish Aviation Authority and I'm working in the Unmanned Aircraft Systems Division. So for a general overview, the purpose of this presentation is to help you understand what remote ID is, why it matters and how to comply with the regulations. I will be referencing key legislation including EU Regulation 2019-947 and 2019-945, as well as national guidance from the Irish Aviation Authority, specifically UAM 014. Throughout the session, we'll explore what remote ID does, who needs it, and how it fits in the broader regulatory framework. We'll also have a look at how different drone classes and categories are affected, what legacy drones are, and what steps operators must take to ensure compliance. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of how direct remote ID works, how it enhances safety, accountability, and legal compliance in Irish and EU airspace. So let's get started. What is remote ID? Remote ID, or direct remote identification, is a system that allows drones to broadcast information about its identity, location, and operator while in flight. Think of it as a sort of digital license plate for drones. This information can be received by authorities and members of the public using compatible apps or receivers. For example, applications like Drone Tag or Drone Scanner can be used. The goal is to enhance safety, security, and accountability in the airspace. Now, just a short little mention on the regulation. Remote ID is formally defined in Article 2 of EU Regulation 2019-947. It states that direct remote identification means a system that ensures the local broadcast of information about an unmanned aircraft in operation, including the marking of the unmanned aircraft so that this information can be obtained without physical access to the unmanned aircraft. This definition is legally binding across all EU member states, including Ireland. The requirement is established under Regulation EU 2019-945, and it is further guided by the IAA's UAS Advisory Memorandum UAM 14, which provides national level clarification and implementation details. So, it can be found under our website, www.iaa.ie. It is /general aviation under the drone section, and you will find it under the advisory memoranda. You can see here that it is highlighted in the red box under UAM 014. Now, moving on, who needs remote ID? All UAS used in specific category need direct remote ID, so operators in this category must test the remote ID is working before conducting their operation. Also, drones with C1, C2, C3, C5 or C6 class identification labels need direct remote ID regardless of the category they're operating in. In the case of these drones, the manufacturer is responsible for equipping the drones with direct remote identification prior to placing them on the market. Legacy drones may be exempt from the application of direct remote identification if they are operated according to Article 20 of Regulation EU 2019-947, taking into consideration their maximum takeoff weight respectively. Now, what are legacy drones? They are unmanned aircraft systems that do not comply with EU 2019, which defines technical requirements for drones. They lack an identification label. They are not privately built and they weigh less than 25 kgs. They were also placed on the market before the 1st of January in 2024. These drones were sold before the EU's new drone classification system came into effect, and therefore they don't meet the latest technical standards. Legacy drones used in the specific category must be retrofitted with a compliant direct remote ID module. Now, so this table here is from the EASA website outlining how each C-class drone fits into the open categories, operational subcategories. Generally speaking, lighter and less complex drones like C1 and C0 can be flown in areas where people are present, while larger or more capable drones like C2 to C4 have more restrictions. All of these can be used in the open category, which is for low risk operations. It's important to know what class marking your drone has so you can determine what type of flying you're allowed to do and where. You can find further information on this on the ASL website. Now, having mentioned different categories, I will just quickly go over them. Under EU drone regulations, operations are divided into 3 categories: the open, specific, and certified. The open category is for low-risk flights, such as small drones flown within visual line of sight, VLOS, below 120 meters and away from people. No prior authorization is needed. The specific category covers moderate risk operations that exceed open category limits, like flying over people and flying beyond visual line of sight. It also requires a risk assessment and operational authorization. And then the certified category is intended for high risk operations, such as transporting people or dangerous goods, and will require certification of the drone, operator, and pilot, similar to manned aviation. However, this category is not yet in use, as it involves complex regulatory changes and is being developed in phases by EASA. So what does remote ID broadcast? A direct remote ID system ensures that drones broadcast key identification data in real time throughout the entire flight, allowing nearby devices to receive it. This broadcast includes the UAS operator registration number, which links the drone to the registered owner, and the drone serial number, serving as a unique identifier. It also transmits the drone's live location, height above ground, and ground speed, allowing to track its movement. Additionally, the system shares the remote pilot's location, or if that is unavailable, the takeoff point. In certain cases, it may also include the drone's emergency status, enhancing situational awareness and safety. The data transmitted can be picked up by smartphones or other receivers using apps like Drone Scanner or Open Drone ID. So how to comply with remote ID. In Ireland, drone operators must comply with remote ID regulations. This starts with registering as a UAS operator via the IAA's MySRS platform. So once registered, operators will receive a unique operator registration number. As you can see here in the certificate at the bottom, it says registration number. This must be uploaded into the drone's remote ID system. This number follows the format IRL, followed by 13 alphanumerical characters, which cannot be seen here. It will be after the IRL. It also includes 3-character private suffix that should not be shared or displayed. If an operator owns multiple drones, the same registration must be uploaded to each one. Therefore, you're registering yourself and not each drone that you own. Operators must also ensure their drones are remote ID capable, either through built-in technology or an approved add-on module. The remote ID system broadcasts essential data during flight, including the operator ID. So I'm going to quickly run through a practical example of using the remote ID system on a DJI Air 3. So once your drone and controller are powered on and connected, open the app and tap Go Fly in the bottom right corner. Then you tap the 3 dots in the upper right to access the settings menu. From there, you should be able to see the settings, and you will select UAS remote identification and enter your UAS operator registration number, which begins with IRL. Just to note, if you are using identification that starts with IRL RP, it's probable you're attempting to use your remote pilot number. This is the wrong number. You will need a UAS operator registration number to do this. This is just an example from a current version of the DJI Fly app. If you are using another brand or aftermarket remote ID module, that manufacturer should have provided you with guidance on inputting your UAS operator registration into that drone. So let's just be mindful of that. And the consequences of non-compliance. So failure to non-comply with remote ID requirements can result in enforcement action, including fines or restrictions on flying. It's important to understand that remote ID is not optional in regulated scenarios. It is a legal requirement. Operators should ensure that their drones are compliant. So to summarize, remote ID is not just a regulatory requirement, it's a key part of making drone operations safer and more transparent. By broadcasting identifying information, remote ID helps protect other airspace users. It supports responsible flying and builds public trust in drone technology. It is required under EU regulations, and in Ireland, the IAA enforces these rules and provides guidance through UAM 014, as mentioned before. But beyond compliance, remote ID plays a vital role in helping authorities and the public monitor drone activity in real time, and it is simply a step forward in creating a safer sky for everyone. Now, thank you for your attention. I hope that the session has clarified the importance and implementation of direct remote ID. Now, if you have any further questions or need more information, please visit our website at www.iaa.ie/drones, or feel free to email us at drones@iaa.ie. Thank you very much.